on today's episode of Bet Bath & Beyond, we're going to talk about a bunch of shit. We're going to talk about last week's NFL, the next week's NFL, a 10-team parlay. We were at a game. We were at a very, very special game.
A very special game. Andrew, a very, very, very special game.
And I was on the trip from hell, and I'll explain all of that when
I was not, though.
The episode.
I was not.
You were not.
I was sitting pretty all weekend long. We'll get into it. Let's roll. 3, 2, 1, go. I am Ian Peacock.
And I am Andy Heidemann, and I hate sports betting.
No matter what you say, I'm betting 100 on it tonight.
All right, Andrew, what do you want to start with first? You want to start with your... Do we want to go chronologically? Do we want to go chronologically and talk about the Thursday night game that we previewed but didn't really recap?
Well, first of all, welcome to Bet Bath & Beyond.
Welcome to Bet Bath & Beyond.
Brought to you by B3TSports.com.
Namaste.
You can check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
And B3TSports.com.
And if you want more sports betting content, check out B3TSports.com. If you want your chance to enter for a free NFL jersey, check out B3TSports.com/contest. Lots of ways to enter.
But hurry up because
that's
it
true.
Only runs to the end of the month. So if you want a free jersey, you got to do it by the end of September. No late.
That's correct.
No late add-ins. This is not the election where you can mail in your ballots after the voting day. You have to get it in end of September.
So here's what I think. To answer your question, I think we should start with the Sunday night game.
That's dumb. That's stupid.
Why?
I don't know. You want any podcast that just starts with the Sunday night game? That makes no sense.
Thing. Okay. Fine. Well, how about this? Do you want to talk about the Thursday night game? You want to talk about the Giants?
No, I don't want to talk about the Giants.
I didn't think you did. But
Who cares about the Giants and the Redskins? Here's what you need to know about the R words. The R words. Here's what you need to know about the Giants and the R words. The Giants, are a dumpster fire of a team.
Yeah, that is correct.
Led by poor management, led by an incompetent quarterback, led by just a poorly coached team that just love to stay in it. Andrew, if you remember from our last podcast, I did predict the Giants to be plus 3.5. They obviously covered. They should have won the game. However, they said
should have won the game.
You know the SpongeBob episode where he says, "All right, SpongeBob." It's like Plankton. He's trying to teach him how to be mean, and the guy took
assertive.
Be assertive, exactly. And he's like, "All right, SpongeBob, that's your ice cream cone. Now let him have it. You can have it." That was the Giants on Thursday night. Yeah. It's like, hey, look, he missed the field goal. That's okay. You can have another shot. Go. Yeah, you can have another shot.
It was a battle of trash teams, clearly. But I will say, every primetime game this year so far has been electric and entertaining.
And that's a great little foreshadow for what we're going to talk about.
Yes,
for the Sunday night game, which we were at, by the way, in person.
So let's talk about how did I get there? Right?
How did you get there?
So I live in Iowa. The closest place to a major airport for me is I have to drive.
Where are you going, Andrew? Where are you going?
Well, so I'm going to Baltimore so we can go to the Ravens-Chiefs game. We try to go once a year. That's
not last year.
We're gonna not last year, but so I have to drive about 2 hours to get to a major airport, right? So I drive and I leave my car at a friend's place. He drops me off at the airport.
The one thing I hated about Iowa, by the way, just the one thing that I hate about Iowa, how long it takes to go anywhere else in the world.
Absolutely anywhere.
You have to drive at least 2 hours to a main airport. And then that main airport usually doesn't have a direct flight to your destination. So you're ping-ponging around the United States or really anywhere.
I'm never connecting anywhere without at least an hour and a half layover ever again in my entire life. I kid you not.
Well,
Like
Andrew, that's just honestly. Look, I didn't want to kick you while you were down.
No.
But
I have flown.
That is such a rookie move to give
I have
yourself 30
I have
minutes.
I have flown so many. I have literally never ever in my life missed a flight, not once. And I missed 2 flights in 4 days.
You popped your cherry pretty hard this weekend.
That was so fucking awful. So, I haven't just flown like domestically. I've flown like out of the country a ton of times. Like I've flown so many places, and I've again never had a horrible experience. So I'm flying out of the nearest Iowa airport, and I'm supposed to fly to Chicago, and then I connect to fly to BWI to get to Baltimore. So we land in Chicago on time, by the way, but there's a lightning, so they won't let anyone off the plane because they can't get the guys with the little orange sticks to come out and do their little "hey, come here."
Yeah, the little
exactly. So
very important. It's a very important job. If you're a listener and that's your job, I salute you. That is a very important job. Honestly, the unsung hero of travel jobs. Not pilots, not flight attendants, the dingers.
So anyway, they're like, okay, you're gonna be delayed. But I had a 40-minute layover, which was gonna be fine, but it took us 30 minutes to get off the plane. Again, I was only gonna have 10 minutes. It's that's rough. I didn't think I was gonna make it. However, before we left the plane, I checked that flight had gotten delayed as well. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make it. It's now 8:54 when I get off the plane, and my flight says it's going to leave at 9:15.
You better run, but you're fast.
And I did.
I've seen you. You're not as fast as me, but you're a fast guy for how, like, you're a big
That's
dude.
a lot of momentum.
Yeah, so, I do not. You're like the juggernaut. Once you start going, you can't stop.
I'm running almost as fast as I can, fucking through O'Hare, and I get to the gate. And there's nobody there. And I look at my watch, and it's 9:04. I'm like,
you're my flight. You're early.
I'm early. I'm like, I mean, now they were boarding already, but still, I was like 9:15. I'm like, that's when they leave. Some other people come up behind me, and they're like, were you going to BWI? Yes, I was. Yeah, it's gone. They left. Phenomenal. All right.
So you're telling me that they left early.
They left early.
Pushed the flight back, and then they brought it back up.
I don't know what they did. All I know is that it said 9:15, and it left before 9:15. So I'm upset. But then a guy walked by me.
For the record, I do fly a lot myself. I am also a flight aficionado, and I have had my fair share of delayed flights. Yeah. It should be illegal. It should be illegal to, once you push a flight and then you say, hey, the new flight is at this new time, you cannot bring it back forward and bring it earlier than the time. Once you push it back, you can't bring it back forward. Okay. If that makes, I know I'm saying that weird, but basically you just can't move it up. All right. Because what if I decide to go, what if I had to go take a giant shit? What if I was like, oh, sure, finally I can go take because I don't like using airplane bathrooms. And you're traveling, so you're constipated, and so you're like, wow, I really want to take a big old shit because my flight got delayed 30 minutes. I got 30 minutes to unload this fudge dragon. Well, while you're in the bathroom, all of a sudden, I don't know who makes these decisions. I don't know who gets to make these. Is it the pilot? Is it the company?
I understand why they do it, because if it's delayed, because it was great news for me that it was delayed, because I'm like, oh, I have a shot to make it now. But understandably, the people who are delayed on that flight, they're like, they have connecting flights in BWI probably. I'm way more mad that
you pushed.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you. I can't believe if you have to start doing 5-minute increments. Don't be doing 30-minute increments and then leaving like fucking 15 minutes beforehand.
Just like Google gobble. Then it's made up time. It's monopoly money for flight time. It's like, we're actually not going to leave for another
Slovakian monopoly money.
Don't bring my home country into this. Don't bring my motherland into this. I have Slovak lessons every day.
Anyway, I missed that flight. I call you guys because you guys were going to pick me up, and I'm like, you were, but I was like, another
Late,
flight.
I might add. Late, I might
Yeah,
add.
it was like 11:30
p.m.
was when you were gonna pick me up.
Yeah.
And somebody walked by when they saw that we were standing outside of the gate. And he's like, "We're going to Washington D.C. That flight doesn't leave for another hour. I see you guys like missed this flight. If you want to check with them," which blessed to that guy, because I wouldn't have even. I thought for sure that I was just going to get a hotel and then get a direct to BWI in the morning. But because it was weather delay, they don't give hotel voucher.
No comp, dude. That's ridiculous.
No
First
comp.
off, Andrew,
That is.
I would not have taken that as an answer. There are two types of people.
I'll tell you.
One who bends over for the airlines, one who bends over for the airlines, and one who bends the airlines over. Andrew, I'm sorry. I love you. You're someone who
say
bends
that
over for the airlines.
No. Because you say that, but like, what would you have like pulled your gun? Because I asked, I went up and I said to them, "Hey, so I missed my flight due to weather, and the flight got pushed to 9:15, and it left early.
I'm sorry."
And then I said, "I want my hotel voucher, and I'd like to book for the morning." And they're like, "The earliest flight we have is this." I'm like, "Okay, that's great. That would be perfect. I would like my hotel voucher." They're like, "We're not giving hotel vouchers for the weather delay." And I'm like,
Let me speak to your manager. Let me speak to your manager.
I was like, "That's insane."
Karen
I'm like,
card.
"Look at this line of fucking people here." And they're like, "I'm sorry, sir. It's just our policy." And at that point, that's when I had realized that guy who said, "Oh, hey, we're going to Des Moines." That's when I called you and I tried to figure out, like, would you come get me? Blah, blah, blah. It was an hour and a half away. It's so far, like a 3-hour round trip at 2 a.m, I might add, by the way. So like,
yeah, say less.
the minute that they were like, "Okay, you're not getting a hotel voucher," I was like, "I'm just going to fucking go to Washington, D.C. then. And then if I have to get a hotel there, I can." And then you and I started talking. We're like, it's way cheap. It's probably cheaper just to Uber all the way to Baltimore. And it was so much cheaper. So 2 a.m. I land. Then at 3:15 is when I finally show up at your place. We have a great time in Baltimore. We go to the game, but before we hold on. Let's go chronologically here.
Well, chronologically, then is my next little input to this story. You said that you took an Uber from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore.
Yes, I did.
Now, was that
boy
Uber
Frederick?
Yes, your boy Frederick. Now, did you rate him?
Yes, sir.
How many?
Frederick got a 5-star rating from me.
That's great, Andrew. You see, that's great to hear. Now, Andrew, how many times do you Uber a lot, Andrew?
Not a crazy amount because of where I live, but when I'm in the cities, I Uber a lot.
So you've Ubered, let's say, over 50 times in your life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, Andrew, how many times have you left a 5-star rating for an Uber driver?
1 time.
And who was that?
That was for my boy Frederick.
So you're telling me that you've taken over 50 Ubers in your life, and just this past weekend, when your boy Frederick drove you from Washington, D.C. all the way to Baltimore, that's an hour-and-a-half trip, that was enough for you to give your first 5-star rating to an Uber driver.
It was, because the conversation was great. He was a really nice dude. He showed me the sights in DC. It was phenomenal.
Now this is where I'm gonna bring in our producer Robbie. Okay, because Robbie hasn't talked at all this episode yet. I'm sure he's listening. He's just soaking in the whole story. It's a very great story. It's a very entertaining story. Now, Robbie, if I were to tell you that someone has taken over 50 Ubers in their life, and Andrew, would you say that these Ubers did their job? They got you from point A to point B in a reasonable manner?
I'm still here, aren't I?
Yeah, so it's
not like I died in a fiery wreck.
It's not like all 50 of these Ubers were terrible experiences. And Andrew, some of
them were not good,
but surely not all 50. But surely not all.
Some of them were really good.
And what would you rate those really good Ubers?
They get 4 stars.
Now, if you're a long-time listener, you might remember this, because I swear to God, we've talked about this. We've had a very similar debate. I'll call it a debate on Bed Bath & Beyond. But this was probably a year ago. I want to bring in some fresh perspective, not only for our new young producer here, Robbie, but also for our new listeners. Robbie, what would I don't even know how I phrase this. What would you call a person that leaves 4 stars and 3 stars to Uber drivers that do a very good job.
No. That's not how. Here's the thing: if they do, like, if they pick me up and they they're like, hello, that's it, that's fine. I'm not asking for like a huge conversation, but you get in, you get driven to your destination. If there is like, and it's perfectly fine. They get a perfect tip. They get a 20% tip, and then they get a 4-star rating. Now,
But
if there are like screens in the car, chargers, bottles of water, that's the kind of stuff that gets you 5 stars. And the reason being is because you want to promote that.
Hold on, Andrew. I'm sure that you've gotten into cars with water bottles and chargers. They're not that rare. You still didn't give them 5 stars.
No, because usually, honestly, a majority of the time, those are my worst like rides. I feel like people are like using that to be like,
to make up for something, to compensate,
to make up for the fact
compensate.
That, like, yeah, I usually feel that way. And you want to hear the best part? Want to hear the best part?
Robbie, hold on. I do, because I did bring in Robbie. And Robbie, what do you think about all this? Because I think Andrew is a psycho, and I think that he should be giving 5 stars more often than once every 50 plus rides, especially if the driver does a good job.
Listen, is it though? Yeah. No. It's like no. It's like when you go and you when you rate movies, right? There's usually a scale. Right,
Andrew,
even if it's
Andrew,
no.
These are people's
even if there's
jobs.
amazing.
These are people's.
Yeah,
jobs.
some of them. You know what though? Like some of them don't treat it like that. Some of them don't treat it like that. And here's the thing.
I would say the majority do. I would say the majority.
No,
do.
I don't know. Here's where I think we differ. I think that you think that because they're doing Uber that they would deserve 5 stars just because I should look at that and go, oh, they're doing Uber. It's like their full-time job. I should give them.
No, I'm saying if they, I'm saying Uber serves a purpose. The purpose is to get someone from A to B in a timely manner. And if someone does that, you should give them 5 stars. If they go,
you get 5 stars for bare minimum is what you're saying.
No, I give people 5 stars for doing a good job. Now, let's say
that's different than A to B. That's
well,
different.
no, I said A to B in a timely manner. That's a good job. I would say. I mean, it's Uber, right? It's not rocket science. I'm not like out at the ballet. I'm not out at an expensive fine dining establishment where I need to be waited on hand and foot with wine and making sure the appetizers come out and they're not.
The only reason I'm laughing so hard at this is because this is like not even the second or third time we've had this conversation.
Because I need to have this conversation. But I need to have this conversation with our new listeners and with our new producer so they can all see how crazy
we can take a
are.
vote. How about this? We'll round it up for social.
I don't need to. I think that's a waste of time because I think that you are literally on your island of if someone does a good job, I'm giving them a 3 or 4 stars. No one
you say
deserves
3 or
5
4.
stars.
A majority of my ratings are 4 stars. Like I think
okay. What's a 3 star?
What's
a 3 star?
A 3 star is like, oh hey, I've taken 2 wrong turns, or like, oh hey, I don't know where I'm at, or like,
okay, yeah.
I'm not like insane. I just 4 is
now.
Usually,
What have you ever given a 1 star?
I actually don't think I have given a 1.
I don't believe that.
What was the one when we were in Chicago for a conference?
The Tesla guy.
Yeah.
Well, he did some wrong turns. He did some wrong turns.
He did. I can't remember if he got that Uber or I got that Uber. I can't. I got that. But Uber. Okay, I was gonna say if I did, I bet he got a 1 or a 2 star from me. But
I've never given someone a 1 star before on Uber, and I have almost missed flights because people have taken me in the most ridiculous ways around the city.
You wouldn't give that a 1 star.
Now, I won't rate them. I won't give them a 5 star if they do a bad job.
That's so much worse.
No,
because you are making other people suffer. That is what you are doing when you do not rate.
If I haven't had this yet, but if I had someone who was deliberately doing a bad job and they just didn't care,
yeah.
Well, then they'd get a 1-star. I haven't had that person. But if it's like, usually it's older people, right? And they're doing this on their spare time to make a side hustle, that kind of thing. And they're just not good with technology. They didn't grow up with a phone. They don't know what GPS is.
You're more sympathetic than I am. Because you can't say earlier, this is their job, this is the way they make a living, and then go, but they don't know.
Well, I'm not giving them a good rating. I just don't give them a bad rating. How about that? I don't
What's
give them a bad
rating? Is it you give them a 3?
I just don't rate them.
I
don't rate them.
Anyway, we're off the rails. Let's go over the Sunday games here really quick. We don't have to go over anything in great detail. We'll talk about the night game, the Sunday night game, obviously.
We're going to talk about the Sunday night game, Andrew. Andrew, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about the Sunday night game, okay? It was a fucking electric game that everyone counted the Ravens out. You did too. I was there
I
with
bet
you.
against them.
I'm so glad you lost that money. I'm so glad. But let's go in chronological order.
So we got
actually. What are we doing? Wait. What are we doing? We don't do this. Let's just talk about.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to go through every game. Actually,
I'm just going to go through scores. I'm just going to go through scores. I'm just going to say Washington beat the Giants.
Washington beat themselves. Giants beat themselves.
Right. And again, like you said, I don't want to go through like every single one of these, but I want to like hit the highlights. Panthers dismantled the Saints like it was insane.
Yes, Jameis not looking so hot right now.
No,
a tale of two quarterbacks.
The Panthers actually have the best defense metrically in every statistical metric in the NFL at the moment.
Go Cox. Go Cox.
Go Cox. They play.
Robbie, why'd you just do that? Robbie, why'd you just do that? I don't think the viewers can see you, but Robbie just went like this. Robbie, you're not a Panthers fan.
Oh, let me just reach behind me.
Oh, please.
I am. I've got the Panthers
Let's
golf balls.
Go!
Been a Panthers fan since 4th grade.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Wait. Hold on. Did we know this?
I don't think we knew that, but that's amazing. That's like the greatest.
Wait, Robbie.
I'm blurry.
You're from Detroit, right? You're from Detroit.
Yeah, so I'll tell the story real quick. So I think it was the 2005 Super Bowl was the first Super Bowl me and my brother ever watched. It was Panthers versus Patriots, and we had just started watching football. My dad sat us down right there, and he said, "Boys, if you ever root for the Lions, you're going to have a life of misery. So you better pick a new team right now." And my brother was like, "I'm going to root for the Patriots," because we were watching Patriots
he's had a great life,
Panthers. And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll root for the Panthers." And he's had a lot more joy over the years than I have, but I've stuck with the Panthers through and through.
Oh my God, that's hilarious and awesome. Andrew, who is a huge Panthers fan, wow, I'm outnumbered. This is crazy.
You are, but you know me. I'm just a fan of the game.
You are more of a fan of the game than most. I will give you that, Andrew.
Let's see. What else do we have here? The Bengals lost to the Bears. The Raiders beat the Steelers.
Watch out for the Raiders. Look. All I'm saying is if you lose to the Raiders, you're not a bad team. That's all I'm saying.
Patriots beat the Jets. They
Steelers are a bad team, though. Steelers are a bad team.
Zach Wilson threw 4 picks. He was seeing ghosts out there.
That was bad. You already talked about the Bears, but Justin Fields should be starting, right? He'll be starting.
It is announced that he's going to be the starting quarterback.
And we'll talk about that
next week
for the preview of week 3. We'll go over all the odds. Not all the odds. Not all the fucking odds, but the spreads. We'll go over the spreads of every game. Hey, Andrew, if you start quoting money line odds to me, I'm going to blow my brains out and make Robbie watch. And then he'll have to edit it.
I just want this to be a mess for anyone who's
involved. Then he'll have to edit it because YouTube won't allow it on the podcast. So Robbie's going to have to do some editing.
The Cardinals beat the Vikings, and really the Vikings just lost because they missed a field goal.
Oh, it's a classic kicker. And also, exactly. I want to do a little shout out. B3T sports analyst Alec, as we all know him, as we've all heard of him, right? We don't know. Do our viewers even know who Alec is? Do they even think he's a real person? I don't know, but I will tell you that in our Dynasty group chat, he said, "Get fucked, Baltimore," after Kelsey scored that ridiculous, stupid touchdown. And at the time, laughing. And I read that, and at the time, I knew that he was hurting because of the Vikings, but that was uncalled for. And I also didn't want to call him out at the time because we were losing. The Ravens were losing at the time.
It's always hard to talk shit, because it's...
Exactly. But the Ravens won. The Vikings suck. Get fucked, Minnesota.
That's true.
And now everything's right with the world.
Really quick rundown of this. Falcons lost, Seahawks lost, Cowboys won, and I think that puts us Rams won.
This is great. This is a great recap, Andrew.
So I
think
this
is a great recap. Bills. Yes.
Oh, actually, another one. Bills won, and it wasn't even fucking close. Like the Bills hoisted a shutout. Like that's insane in the NFL to hoist a shutout. It's just
wait. Was it a shutout?
Yeah, it was like 30-something to 0. 2 were left in like the first quarter, but
the Dolphins scored 0.
Dolphins scored 0.
Why didn't we give Johnny Walk shit about this?
Why? Because he was hurting enough.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. Sunday was a little bit of a blur. Obviously, we did watch the games. We had Red Zone on the entire time, so we didn't watch.
Yeah, took a nap, which was insane.
When your team is playing at the Sunday night level, when it's the creme de la creme, the top slot of the day, everything's kind of a blur leading up to it because you're really focused on the Sunday night game. And that's kind of where I was Sunday. I was like, okay, I'm watching these games. Yes, I'm checking fantasy. But at the same time, all I want is for Sunday night to roll around so we can get to the game and we can watch Lamar finally, Andrew, after 4 long years, beat Patrick Mahomes.
And what did we see right when we walked into the stadium?
Lamar Jackson. We walked the very first play. We walked into the stadium. We got to our seats. The very first play, Lamar throws a pick 6 to Tyrann Mathieu, and my soul left my body for a little bit.
It did.
And
you should have seen it.
And I said, "Well, here we go." You know, like and Joker meme, and here we go.
And it did not get better for a long time. It was like
no.
It was another. I wouldn't say it didn't get better until like the second half.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously the pick 6 happened.
There were some positive things, but
yeah, the pick 6 happened, and Lamar threw another bad interception to Hollywood Brown. He was triple coverage, and he just threw it up there. And so the first half didn't look that great. We still stuck in there because our run game did really well. We had some really good run. We have Devontae Freeman. He went off on a pretty good run. Obviously Tyson Williams, and Latavius Murray. Okay, so all of them did their part. They scored touchdowns. They ran the ball well. So we were still in the game by halftime. I think we were only down by 3 at half. I think it was like 17-14 or something like that. So I wasn't feeling too bad. And then we went down by 11 after some plays. Like the Pringle touchdown was ridiculous. Pringle's fast, but it's these little.
He shouldn't have scored there.
No, and then the Kelsey touchdown, which Alex said, "Get fucked, Baltimore." Literally, it was a 10-yard dump to Kelsey, like at the 40-yard line, just to get rid of it.
Yeah,
and he somehow.
But that's Travis Kelsey, dude. Travis Kelsey.
But he's not shifty. He's not shifty like a Pringle or like a Hill. Like he's not fast like a cheetah. All
he does is mismatch you on the play, and then he'll just
stumbles and bumbles his way to the end zone. Once Kelsey scored that touchdown, I thought it was over. I really did. I think we were down by 11 at that point. I really thought it was over. Then Lamar, I don't know what happened, but he turned a corner and he started running the ball like his MVP season.
He ran for 107 yards, right?
Yeah, he ran for over 100 yards. He also had that really nice touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown where he kind of like...
Who is the one?
He is the one now. And you know what? I will be starting him this week in fantasy. I will be starting. He's getting enough targets that...
My guess is that you got him in the 7th or 8th round as well.
Oh, yeah. I got him late.
Right, and I did too. And I in a lot of leagues, I picked up Hollywood Brown late, and I am very excited for that.
But you know what touchdown I'm saying, right? He's like scrambling in the pocket and then just kind of jumps up, does the jump pass, and Hollywood Brown's wide open, past everyone, runs it in, and then Andrew. And then when it looks like we go up by 1 point, 36-35, okay? You were in the stadium. The stadium was going electric. Yeah. However, the Chiefs were marching down the field, and it looked like
10 yards whenever they wanted.
Whenever they wanted, and they have a good kicker in Bucker. All they really had to do was, wind down the clock, give it a good ringing, and just basically have Butker come out and kick a field goal with time expiring, we would never get the ball back. Boom, Chiefs win by 2 points, right?
Yep.
Who else but Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbling the ball? But, I mean, it was a great defensive play, okay? But
and
he fumbles the ball, and the Ravens recover, and just like that, we're in business. We're in business.
Yeah, you're first down away from winning. Now, did you know that I found this out, I think 2 days ago, but Clyde did not fumble at all at his entire time at LSU, and he did not fumble a single time last year. This was his first fumble in the NFL.
No way. And in college.
And in college.
No way.
Well, I don't want to say in college. I want to say at LSU because I don't know if he played somewhere else and then transferred to LSU. I didn't do that much research.
Wait a minute.
I know he didn't fumble at LSU.
This is really his first time fumbling in the NFL.
And I think and here's the thing, when I found this out, I think it finally clicked to me as to why the Chiefs drafted him in the first round 2 years ago. It wasn't because he was the best running back. We knew he wasn't the best running back in that draft class. Jonathan Taylor was there. You had Cam Akers, you had J.K. Dobbins. Like, I think those guys are all better, quote unquote, running backs. But the Chiefs had every weapon imaginable. They had an all right defense, and they had a pretty okay offensive line at the time of that draft. They just wanted a guy who they could give the ball to, who could
not fumble.
And not fumble. No, seriously, I really do think that was a huge factor for them. And I mean, It's unfortunate. I don't expect
it's not unfortunate. It's actually very fortunate.
Oh, sure,
he fumbled
right.
when he did. Ravens get the ball. That's a crazy stat. That's a good job. Right. Good journalism, Andrew, for pulling that stat up out of your butt. Now we have the ball. We're 1 first down away, like you said, to end the game. And what happens? We're facing a 4th and 1. We could either punt it, give it back to Mahomes with 50 seconds left in the game, or we can give the ball to Lamar. And what happens?
Do you want to reenact that really quick? You could be Harbaugh, and I'll be Lamar.
Okay. Lamar, you want to go for it? Lamar, you want to go for it?
And then we kiss.
Yeah, hell yeah, coach, I want to go for it, and I want to go for you too. Then they kiss and win the game.
Harbaugh. I mean, they talked about this on Pardon My Take, I believe, as well, which is interesting. Harbaugh made the best decision possible by publicly asking Lamar what he wants to do. Because if Lamar says, let's go for it, and he doesn't get it. Yeah, absolutely. If they don't get it, then Harbaugh's like, fuck it, I'm out. That wasn't me. I asked Lamar. You tell me you wouldn't do what Lamar wanted. And then if he gets it, he's like, I'm the greatest coach of all time.
You trusted your team. Yeah, you trusted your key player. You trusted your MVP. But
can you imagine? He's like, Lamar, you want to go for this? He's like, hell no, coach.
Yeah, can we punt it, please?
That ball.
Punt it. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I'm tired, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. Okay.
I'm tired of digging, Grandpa. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the game.
Kissing Kate Barlow. Yes. So we obviously get the 4th and 1. Lamar, MVP of the game. Just, I mean, it was amazing.
Almost no one is asked to do more for their team. I'm not going to say every game, but on a regular basis than Lamar is asked sometimes for the Ravens. Because now I think that's going to get better just because they won the game. I mean, they won the game due to running, but they don't have any running backs. In big moments, they came up like, Sammy Watkins had one drop that was really bad, but otherwise he looked really good. I thought Marquise Brown looked great, and Mark Andrews didn't get the targets he normally gets, but every time he touched the ball, I mean, he still looked good.
Yeah, he's good. So he's a good tight end. So he's just not our number one receiver anymore. He's just not our number one receiver.
It's the thing that sucks is looking at the Ravens, the way that they won this game. They beat the Chiefs. Like, good for the Ravens. Like, I don't know how often I can take the Ravens in bets right now because they're in a weird place. Because I don't know how good the Raiders are. You could not have told me at the beginning of the season that the Chiefs would be at the bottom of their division.
How is that possible?
Well, the Raiders are 2-0.
Yes.
And the Chargers and the Chiefs are both 1-1. And the Broncos are 2-0.
Interesting. The Broncos, I forget the Broncos are 2-0. That's not going to last long.
I don't think it will last long either. But
I don't know. Let me ask the Panther fans. As someone who just had Teddy Bridgewater on their team, what do you guys think about the Denver Broncos?
I think that Teddy does not lose you games.
I wasn't talking to you, Andrew. I was talking to Robbie.
You said fans.
I think the other shoe is going to fall fairly quickly. I don't see them keeping this up.
Teddy is like a dude who's not going to lose you games, but he's not going to win you games either. And that's okay. Like, for example, when you look at the Broncos and the way they've constructed their offense, they've got weapons. So did Carolina. But Carolina didn't have the defense or the defensive coaching that the Broncos do. The Broncos defense is really good. That gets Teddy out of some jams and lets him kind of, although I will say Teddy's doing something he did not do for the Minnesota Vikings or for the Carolina Panthers. And his average depth of target is like 5 yards deeper than it was for either of those teams. He's letting it fly a little bit more. And I wonder if that's because he feels safe.
No, it
could be the air.
It is. Did you know? I actually looked this up. The only hole-in-one on a par 5 hole is.
I think I was with you when you looked this up.
Yeah, it was last year at the at our old company golf outing. The only hole-in-one done on a par 5 hole was in Denver, and people attribute it to the thin mountain, mile-high air.
I believe that.
Nice little fun fact for you.
Before we hop into the Thursday night matchup and get moving into that, I want to talk
you don't want to talk about Monday? You don't want to talk about Packers or Aaron Rodgers coming back?
I would love to. Chronologically. No.
The big old
You're right. Chronologically.
Well, chronologically, we would talk about the Monday
was flying.
game.
No. Chronologically, I'd be flying back. So Sunday morning happens.
Oh my God.
We do all our football stuff. And then now it is Monday morning and we both have flights to catch, right?
Yeah, guess what? I went to the airport and I took a direct flight from BWI to O'Hare and it was fine. And
you went home.
I was in my apartment within 3 hours of start to finish. It was great.
So I fucking flew from BWI to Detroit. And that's
great airport, by the way. Robbie's wincing, but it is actually, look, I don't care.
It's a cool airport.
City.
No, I really do.
It's a very cool airport, Robbie. In fact, it's number 1 on my list.
I was gonna say airport's cool. Just don't leave the airport.
I wish I could have.
I think they've
Robbie,
invested.
I wish I could have not left the airport.
I think they've invested all the city's funds to making a badass airport, and they're like, you know what? Don't worry about the housing.
Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. Just stay in the airport. It's a nice little Futurama-esque airport with floating trains and beautiful water statues and pianos. It's a beautiful airport.
So we land in Detroit, and I'm in the back of the plane because of fucking course I am. Like I'm not even like I'm just I'm in the back. I'm like I'm touching the back
stop
wall.
going in the back. Stop going in the back.
So I will. I'm gonna stop like just letting it randomly select my ticket. I'm gonna be picking my seat from now on. Fuck that. I'm so done with airports. I'm not. So I'm in the back and we touch down. By the way, we get there 15 minutes late because people were not sitting. People were up and moving and shit. They were late getting onto the plane and all that. So instead of landing at 11:30 like we're supposed to, we land at 11:45, which is still 30 minutes before I'm supposed to.
That's not too bad.
It's still 30 minutes before because I had a 45-minute layover. Thought I'd be fine. Lose 15 minutes. I lose another 10 minutes trying to get off the plane. Something that you didn't know. On the plane, I dropped these headphones. They have a case. Dropped the case.
I know the case. I know the case well.
Yep. Dropped the case, went under the seat. But I knew if I tried to go under there and mess with it, I left it. I had to leave it. Like I had to because I was going to be late for my flight. So I left it. I left it on the flight.
Andrew Heidemann, are you telling me that you saw? That's a nice case. That's like a nice.
No, I couldn't find it. Like, what happened was I felt it hit the ground, and I went to reach for it, and
leave it behind. I got bigger.
No, it wasn't like I saw it and then I left it. But what I'm saying is I could have gotten on my hands and knees and looked for it or gone to the back of the plane. Maybe it slid under. I could have done all that, but I didn't have time. I had to fucking go. So I got off the flight as soon as I could, and I ran again. And by the way, they dropped me off an A, and I had to get to C in Detroit, which means I had to go into a U shape to fucking get there and go underground, come back up.
Oh, hold on. Is it the underground where it's the really cool tunnel with all the lights?
Yep.
So cool, dude.
It is cool.
Detroit. Chef's kiss to the Detroit airport. That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's a whole, for those of you that don't know, you go under the ground, like under the tarmac to get to the other side of the terminal. And it's just this hall of lights. And it's like half a mile long. It's such a long walk, and you're just immersed in these beautiful, with all these colors and all these sounds, and you really feel like you're in another world. I absolutely love that tunnel. You are a very lucky man.
Yeah, you say that, but then again, I'm gonna just cut to the chase. I get there at like right when they're closing the door. Like they've closed. Like I say right when they're closing the door, but the door was closed. There was no one out there. No one was at the thing, and I went over to the gate like next to it, and I said, "Hey, that flight over there. Is there any way you could talk to somebody, get me on that flight?" They're like, "No, it's gone." I'm like, "I see the flight. I see the flight right there." And I'm like,
"It's right
the door."
There.
Yeah, I'm like, "It's right
just
there."
Just open it. Just come on.
And she's like, "No, I can't." I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" So I left to go to the help desk, and the only thing that Delta could do was get me. This is how the conversation went, by the way. We have a flight at 1:50. I'm like, I will do that. That sounds phenomenal. They're like, it's full. I'm okay. And then they're like,
then why tell me about the flight? Why even tell me about the flight at 1:50?
I'll get to that. Then they said, we have one at 3:50. I said, is it full? And they said, yes. I'm like, okay, well, I'm confused. Why are you telling me about this? And they're like, well, we can get you on the list. So if somebody doesn't show
standby.
up, you will.
It's called standby.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll get
I fly a lot. I know the terms.
Well, here's the thing. It's so early, or it's so like far away that it's impossible to tell if there's somebody going to miss it. And if I do standby, they can't get me in their system for another ticket. Does that make sense? They can't put me on standby and book me on another flight.
You get one shot. Yeah.
You get one shot. So I'm like, I was like, I will do standby. And I was sitting there, and this is at 12:40 because my flight's fucking gone already.
You never go hey, just so you know,
no,
you never go standby.
You don't because I was sitting there and I was thinking, just in my head, I was like, I was fuming, I was upset, and then I was like, this is just United. I'm like, I might just buy a separate flight from American or United. And I was like, I'm just going to do that. Fuck these guys. I go over to the lady and I'm like, hey, I know you work for United. Where's the American hub? She's like, oh, you're going to have to take the charter bus. I'm like, I'm going to have to leave the airport. She's like, yeah, you're going to have to leave the airport. And I'm like, if I leave the airport, I'm going to have to go through security. She's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Wait. No, that makes no sense. She's trolling you. She was pranking.
No, but there's because here's the thing. It's split into two hubs, and there's the United hub, and there's also some international over there. But there's United and international. Then you have to take the charter bus to the other hub, which is American, United, Spirit, like all those other, like JetBlue. So I took the charter bus. I went underneath. I'm like in the concrete of Detroit in a just giant parking garage. I get on a bus. This man who says he's worked there 40 years drives me to the other fucking side. I go up to American. I'm like, I need a new flight today to Des Moines. And she's like, I don't have anything.
Hold on. I have to, okay, because this episode, by the way, if you're actually still listening, it's just 90% about Andrew's dumb travel shenanigans from this past weekend. And then 10% sports. And then
we'll get to the
I already used up 100%. So, and then 1% sports betting. Which is fine because I actually love travel stories because
they're very interesting.
They're very interesting, and I fly a lot. Look, I've said it before. I fly a lot,
and they're relatable.
I have good stories too, but this episode will be about you. Why didn't you, when you were waiting at standby at United before you even left the terminal, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just look for a ticket on your phone since we live in the 21st century?
So that's the thing. I did look for tickets on my phone, but when I went to go and look for them, excuse me, and buy them, they said limited offering. And some of them were like, hey, you need to make sure that when I went to buy one of them, first of all, the American app.
Hey, you need to take the charter underneath Detroit, underneath the belly of Detroit.
So the American app is garbage. because I was trying to use that initially to buy tickets, and
you just use Google. I don't understand.
No, I know. So I started with the American app, and it wasn't working for me at all. It was absolute shit. But then when I went to Google, I saw a bunch of tickets. I saw American. I saw United. I saw all these places that were offering me same day. The reason I wanted to be there in person was because I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know how far away it was, but I wanted to be there in person because there was a 150 flight on American. So I was like, I have to run and be fast. So when I said, "Where's American?" She's like, "Okay, you do this." She's like, "It'll be fast." She's like, "It takes you 15 minutes." And I was like, I don't believe that, but I was ready to believe anything at that point. So I did what I needed.
So you
to
wanted to get to the American hub before you locked and loaded the 150.
Yes, because if I locked and loaded 150 and missed another flight, I'd have killed myself.
Yeah.
So,
and then Robbie would have to edit it out of the
exactly.
episode.
Yeah. So that's one to answer your question. But I did see there were lots of flights. So I went to American. I was like, I as I got there, I already knew. I'm like, I'm not going to make the 150 flight. So I'm like, that's out. But do you have another flight that's same day to Des Moines? And she's like, no. I'm like, I'm looking at my phone right now. I see tickets available. Like, are these a separate function or are these? And she's getting upset with me because I'm getting upset with her. And I'm like, I'm looking at tickets right now.
Slides Frosty off the counter.
And then she looks at me and she's like, well, why didn't Delta redirect you? I'm like, lady, Delta wanted to redirect me to Atlanta at 8:50 p.m. and I wouldn't get back to Des Moines until 1:45 in the morning. I am trying to get back to Des Moines now. And she's like, well, I have one thing going to O'Hare. I'm like, that's great. What does it look like? She's like, it's $1,600. I'm like, I'm going to United. I am done with this. And
you pulled out your Amex and you said, put it on the Amex.
And when I was walking away, she said to me, United's not going to sell you at the counter like that. And I'm like, I know they're not going to sell me at the counter. They don't do that. But I went over there and I fucking was like, hey, I see that you've got tickets available. I'm just confirming with you. I know you don't sell them here. Is this correct? The dude's like, yep, super easy. Just buy it. So I sat down, bought my ticket there. And I was like, I scanned it, did my travels, went from Detroit to O'Hare then I landed and I had like a 4-hour
so you went
in O'Hare.
Yeah, okay. So let's track this, okay?
Are you wondering why I didn't buy an American ticket online then?
No, I'm wondering why you went from BWI to Detroit to then O'Hare and then Iowa.
Because they didn't have any other flights in Detroit going straight to Des Moines. They did on some other airlines, but I would have had to go to I couldn't find any on Google that were at a reasonable time, and I didn't want to go to every single hub and just be like, you gotta go and direct to Des Moines. I just didn't want to waste the time. Like maybe I could have flown Spirit, but Des Moines is also such a small airport.
Right. So did you have to pay for another ticket or?
Oh, fuck yeah. I paid out of pocket for that bitch. I was not staying in Detroit any longer than I had to. I paid.
But what about your original? What about your original ticket that you stood by on?
I just stood by for? Oh, left it. Put it in my pocket.
Even you could have probably returned that for the flight you took to O'Hare, right?
I don't know. I was done. I left. I was so fucking
because
dumb,
it was with United, correct? It was with the original airline. It was with United.
And it was funny too because as I was flying to O'Hare, I took a picture and sent it to our group chat. I'm like, there you are, and you thought I took that picture on Friday, but like 2 hours later, I replied, I was like, no, I'm still here, and you're like, what the fuck? You're like, that's.
I was
insane.
Like, come on in. I was like, hey, I live 30 minutes away. Just take an Uber to my place. Just live here now. You live here now.
Anyway, so that's my story. I land at midnight at Des Moines, and my buddy picks me up. I stay the night at his place, and then
okay. So you still got into Des Moines really super late.
Yeah, but it wasn't it wasn't 2 a.m. late, and it was
just midnight late.
And well, here's the other thing too, though. When they were explaining to me the Atlanta thing, they didn't tell me. I didn't check, but the layover seemed also, I was not going to fuck with it anymore. Like I did not want to, because if being stuck in Detroit is shitty and it's far from Iowa, but it's not Atlanta far from Iowa. I wasn't going to get stuck in Atlanta. Like that sounds terrible.
Oh man, Andrew. Okay.
I mean, you got to just put yourself in my shoes. Where would you, I mean, like you'd want, I just wanted to be It was worth the money. It was definitely worth the money.
I don't.
You can ask me that a million times. 100%.
That's what I'm kind of getting at. Is I don't think it was worth the money because you still didn't. Because you still didn't get into Iowa until midnight. And
but here's the.
That was that was like, I don't want to go on this flight because I wouldn't get in until like 1 a.m. But I bought another flight.
It was 2 a.m. and it was like 1:52 or something like that. But that's also assuming it was also like it was raining that night. Like the whole another part of like I didn't tell this part of the story, but on my flight back from O'Hare to Des Moines, we sat on the tarmac for 45 minutes and couldn't take off. It didn't matter because I wasn't going anywhere.
This is honestly, you might take the cake. This sounds awful. Like this just sounds
and again, I'm going
awful.
At the end, I'm going to Des Moines, so I don't really care. I'm just fucking happy to be on a plane. At that point, my worst fear was that they're like, the storm is too bad, we cannot fly.
Now,
Andrew, something like an anomaly would happen. So
you got into Des Moines at around midnight, right?
It would have been, if there was no storm, it's a 50-minute flight from like O'Hare to like I would have gotten in at like I want to say 10:45, but we had to go around a storm and wait on the tarmac for another 45 minutes.
So you don't live in Des Moines though. That was going to be my next question.
And that was the other reason is why I wanted to get into Des Moines. Like, midnight is late, but in my mind I'm like, if I just will myself, I will drive home tonight and I will be home in my bed. It will be late as shit, but I will be home in my bed.
So did you drive?
I couldn't do it. No, I couldn't. I got picked up and they let me into their house and I'm like, I'm going to go sleep on the guest bed. I'll see you in 6 hours. And I went to bed.
Oh my God. Did you go to work on Tuesday? Did you go to work on Tuesday?
Yeah. I drove home. Listen to me. So I drove the 2 hours.
That's all I've been doing this entire episode.
I drove the 2 hours. And as I got home, I walked into my house, opened my laptop, and I said good morning to everyone at work. I was not a happy camper that day. And I had to go pick up my dog at noon.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Anyway.
Let's Aaron, okay.
My 10 all I got we're going to my 10-team parlay for last week.
Wait. Aaron Rodgers is back. That's all I care about. That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
I have Aaron Rodgers on my fantasy team. He put up a disgusting 1 point last week when they played the Saints. Of course, I'm going to start him again because he is Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, huge bounce back game. He had 4 touchdown passes, I'm pretty sure. Aaron Jones had 4 touchdowns of his own. Insane. Aaron Rodgers is back.
Rodgers is back.
I still had a shotgun this week.
Did you
2 weeks in a row? 2 weeks in a row, I have scored the lowest amount of points in my fantasy group, which means I have to shotgun every week.
The 10-team parlay went 7 for 10. I'm now 11 for 20 on the season with that first rocky week. But
where'd I go? Where'd I go? In our competition.
You got last week we were 5-4. I was winning. Now you are winning 15-12.
Damn, that is a good swing trade right there.
Yeah.
Can we put the scores on the thing?
Just 15. Sure. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I say sure, 15, but that's not me.
15 to 12. You don't really have to do it, Robbie, if you don't want to. But I do want to keep a scoreboard because we're about to give our picks for this upcoming week. If you've actually made it through all of these stories, we're about to give our picks for week 3. It's happening. That's what we're doing, right?
Yes, we're going to run through this quick. We got Panthers versus, this is the Thursday night game, Panthers versus the Texans. The Panthers are 8-point favorites. Who you got?
Now, here's the thing, Andrew. Here's the thing. I want to say the Texans. I want to say the Texans so bad because they're not that bad. They're a lot better than people thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. However, Tyrod Taylor will be out. That new rookie quarterback that I can't remember his name, Stills or something, he will be starting. Smills.
And Davis Smills.
Davis Mills has to be one of the worst names of all time.
No, it's Davis Mills.
Okay, well then that's not bad. That's not a bad name.
That's not so bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Smills, I do like that. Smills. Smills will be starting. I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers.
Alrighty, so we got both for the Panthers at -8.
I'm assuming Robbie has the Panthers as well, being a huge Panthers fan. Thumbs up.
Okay, so then we got Colts Titans, We have the Titans are 5.5-point favorites.
Ew. I don't like this matchup at all. I don't like either of those teams. They're both inconsistent as fuck. Is Carson Wentz playing? Is he okay?
Undecided yet. He's got glass ankles, but they have not come out and said whether he's
give me the Titans. I'll give me the Titans. Give me the Titans.
Yeah, we're both taking the Titans then. We got Falcons, Giants. The Giants are 3-point favorites. This one's disgusting.
I'm taking the Giants.
I am also taking the Giants. Both.
If I just picked every one that you picked, I would win, right? Like I would win because
that's
since
true.
I'm in the league,
as you notice, you're going first. So
that's true. That's what we'll do. Whoever is leading for that week
has to go first.
Oh,
that's good.
Otherwise, the other person could just copy them forever.
That's true.
And then the score would never change.
Chargers Chiefs is next. The Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites.
Oh, I want Justin Herbert to have a good game. I have him in our dynasty league.
He can still have a good game.
I know, but give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
Yep, same here. They're looking for a bounce back.
If you copy every single one of mine, you would not win.
I can't win. That. Yeah, it's a.
I'm just letting you know that.
That's not my fault that you're
just picking every one that I'm picking. So I'm just letting you know how math works. If you picked every pick that I did, you could not win. Statistically,
we got Bengals, Steelers, and the Steelers are 3-point favorites.
Yeah, give me the Steelers.
I'm taking the Bengals.
There you go. You're all right, dig yourself a hole. That's fine.
Bears, Browns, and the Browns are 7-point favorites.
Oh, give me the Bears.
Really? Okay.
I like Justin Fields. I want to see what he can do. I'm not big on the Browns. The Browns are not a good team. The Browns are not a good team.
You said I remember. I'll never forget Ceiling Fan Week, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was 2 years ago, Andrew.
I'm just saying. Okay,
but I think about it every day. If that's what you're asking, I think about it every day.
Ravens, Lions. Ravens are 9-point favorites.
Jesus. Give me the Ravens. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, that's me too.
Good pick. That's Robbie's also. I'm sure Robbie likes that too. Fuck Detroit.
Here's an interesting one. We got Saints, Patriots. Patriots are 2.5-point favorites.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'm sensing a little bounce back game. I don't think Jameis is actually that bad. I do love the 30 for 30 characteristic where he can throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. I love that about him. I'm not sold on McCorkle Jones. They still have Kamara. Give me the Saints.
Cardinals, Jags. Cardinals are 7-point favorites.
Wait, who did you take in that last matchup?
I took the Browns. Or I'm sorry, I took the
Patriots.
I took the Patriots. Yep, I took
Interesting. Wait, but do the Cardinals win again?
They're 7-point favorites against the Jaguars.
Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
I will also be taking the Cardinals. Okay, Washington versus the Bills. Bills are 7.5-point favorites.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they just smacked the Dolphins. So, yeah give me the Bills. Yeah, I'll take the Bills. I don't think the R words are that good. I'm
going to take Washington.
Okay, you do that. You know what? I do want to.
What's that?
I do want to change. I want to take the Jags over the Cardinals. I want to go back and take the Jags over the Cardinals.
Really? Okay.
Right. You said it was 7.5, right?
No, it's 7.
That's fine. I think the Jags, although probably will not win that game, I don't have faith in the Cardinals for actually closing it out.
There was a Reddit post today. It was Urban Meyer apparently said to Vic Fangio when they lost to the Broncos. He said it humorously, but he's like, it's like playing Alabama every week. And it's like, it's kind of funny to hear him say that. But the comment below it was like, phone rings, USC fight song. He's like, hey, I'm getting an unrestricted call from LA. Give me a second. I have to take this. He's like, no, I could talk. All right, Jets, Broncos. Let me see here, and that is going to be. I know the Broncos will be favored by 10 points. Broncos -10.
And now give me the Jets. That's too big. That's too big a spread.
I'm going to take the Broncos.
Okay.
Do you know Teddy Bridgewater's record against the spread?
I do not.
It's like 37-17. It's like actually bananas.
Well, I don't care. I don't care.
That's
10
fine.
Is
No,
way
I was,
too
I was
much.
just,
We
I
were
was,
just
10
talking,
is a lot of points.
We were just talking about how the other shoe has to fall, to quote our producer Robbie. The Broncos aren't going to go. I mean, they'll beat the Jets, but they're not a good team. The 2-0 is misleading.
Here's an interesting one. Dolphins-Raiders. Dolphins are 4-point favorites.
Give me the Raiders.
I will also take the Raiders. Can you believe it's only a 4-point favor though?
No, wait, why?
Especially, I don't know. Well, so Josh Jacobs probably won't play.
Wait. Are you saying the Dolphins are favored?
No, the Raiders are favored. I'm just saying it's only 4 points. Doesn't that seem low to you?
I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I thought anyway. We'll both take that. Seattle plays.
You said Josh Jacobs though. Is he supposed to play? He's Q. Is he a Q?
He is Q, and it's not looking good for week 3. But we'll see.
See, but this is okay. This is okay because I still have Monty and Saquon, but unfortunately, Saquon's a Q right now. Why is Saquon a Q?
Saquon's the Q just because he went from 4. I mean, he's coming off the knee surgery, and he went from 42% snap share in week 1 to 85% snap share, and he hasn't played football in over a year. He's going to be sore. I'm assuming he just sat out of practice but he's in his 4th year. I mean, he's considered a veteran at this point in the league. I'm not concerned.
Okay.
The Seahawks are -1.5 point favorites against the Vikings.
Give me the Seahawks.
Me too.
Minnesota, get fucked, boy.
Here you go. Bucks, Rams. Bucks are 1.5 point favorites.
Give me the Bucks. I have no faith in Matthew Stafford or his little homosexual relationship with Cooper Kupp. And I say that respectfully, okay? I think love is love. And I think anyone can have sex with anyone they want. However, Matthew Stafford, I don't care about how tight he is with Cooper Kupp and how they get breakfast every fucking morning, and that he's his favorite week. And that he's his favorite fucking receiver. And oh my god, they do fellatio on the field together. I don't care. They're not a good team. They're not a good team.
You don't think they're a good team?
I'm okay.
Okay. I was like, you think he's better or worse than Jared Goff? I mean, because that's what it boils down to. Like, you could say he's worse than Jared Goff if that's what you actually believe.
No, I don't believe he's worse than Jared Goff, but they're not. Like, we have a bet, as actually maybe people don't know. Me and Andrew have a bet that we made in the offseason because Andrew loves Matthew Stafford almost as much as Cooper Kupp loves Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford loves Cooper Kupp. And it is. Andrew, what's the bet that the Rams have to win 2 playoff games this year?
Yes, they have to win 2. Well, no, they have to make it further than they did last year. Is the deciding factor. So, I mean, I think they only won 1 playoff game last year, but they also had a bye. So if
they have to win 2. No, I remember because Matthew Stafford's only won 1 playoff game in his whole career.
Here's the thing. You say this. We had this conversation earlier. You say this, but I don't think that was the bet. I think that came out of the conversation with the bet because we were upset. Like we were arguing, but I'm pretty sure we can go back and look. I do have it documented.
We'll look. We'll look somewhere.
But we're almost done with this here.
I want to talk more about Matthew Stafford doing fellatio on Cooper Kupp.
Shut up.
At breakfast.
Shut up. 49ers are 3-point favorites against the Packers. While Sean McVay draws up the play. 49ers are -3.
Did you know Sean McVay's the youngest head coach in the NFL?
Did you know if you took 2 Sean McVays and put them on top of each other, they'd still be younger than Pete Carroll?
All right, are we at the Sunday night game? Are we at the Sunday night game?
Yes, this is Sunday night. 49ers are 3-point favorites against the Packers.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
That's stupid. I'm taking the Packers. That's stupid.
I am 100% taking the Packers.
I might liquidate the 401k and put that. That's dumb. Who decided that? Which bozo at Caesar's Palace Sportsbook fucking type that in?
I know this episode's already going along, but did you hear about the dude who made the $16 parlay for BetMGM?
Oh, do not time check us, okay?
Did you see
we don't need to do
the
be
guy
time checked
who
on
made
our
a
own
16-leg
podcast?
parlay for BetMGM?
Yes, and he needed the Lions to win.
He did, but did you hear what BetMGM did? It was because it was a free $25 bet, so their mechanics don't allow him to cash out early. Because normally a normal person probably would.
Well, then you hedge
early.
it, but you still hedge it.
Well, then you hedge it, but he didn't hedge it. Like, which is
well, then he
whatever.
deserves to lose the amount of that was like $700,000.
Yeah, that was the max payout, right? So, but BetMGM apparently paid him out the $133,000 that it would have been paid out if he would have been able to early.
That's kind of cool.
That's a smart move by BetMGM. So many people are going to go try to hit like 15, 16 game parlays, hoping that they can get like a similar situation for them.
That was a good publicity stunt by them.
Good job by them.
Good PR.
Good PR. Okay, the final game, the Monday night game. Eagles, Cowboys. Cowboys are 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I will be taking the Cowboys.
This is the one where I struggled because I want to take the Cowboys as well. I think I might. The Eagles are weird to me. I think the Eagles are not a bad team. I don't think the Eagles are nearly as bad as they were last year. The Cowboys are definitely better this year than they were.
Cowboys are better. Cowboys are better with Dak.
Yeah, 100%. Like Dak is a game changer. I'm going to go.
You know what? I like CD Lamb.
I like CD Lamb too. I like
also
Michael Gallup too, but he's been hurt.
That's true. When are they going to put Tony Pollard as the RB1? When is that going to happen?
I don't know if they will. No, seriously, I don't.
But like he is much better than Zeke on the field.
He's quicker. I don't know if he's better. I mean, like Zeke,
he's better.
I don't think that that's true. I mean, Zeke had a really good game. I mean, the only reason that Pollard was ranked where he was fantasy-wise this week, which was high, he was like the running back like 4, was because he got a trick play off the edge, which he scored on. But if he wouldn't have scored on that, they would have just punched in with Zeke. Zeke would have had a 2-touchdown like week. Everyone would be forgetting all about this. They'd be like, "Oh, Zeke is still that dude."
I'm not really even talking about last game because I don't think I watched much of it because again, we only had the red zone on. I only care about the Sunday night game, which was the Ravens. I'm just saying whenever I watch the Cowboys, it really just seems like whenever they put in Pollard, he just plays better.
They just use him differently. I mean, like if you look at snap count, so Pollard had 13 attempts, Zeke had 16 attempts. Pollard had a couple extra yards than Zeke. They both had a touchdown. The difference really comes in where Zeke was on the field for 77% of snaps. Pollard is on the field for 33% of snaps. I mean, it's just a matter of who's getting into the end zone there. They use Zeke way more. Zeke is a better pass blocker. It's just if those snap percentages start to change, I will be a worried Zeke owner. I own Zeke in a lot of leagues. But until that happens, it's just Pollard is being efficient. He is a good player. I would never take that away from him. He's been very good. But as long as Zeke is getting 70, 75% of the snap percentage work, he's going to be a very, very relevant fantasy asset. He's still going to be great for you.
What about their RB3, though? Their RB3, whenever they put him in, he does better than Pollard and Zeke.
I feel like I'm getting trapped. I don't know who their RB3 is.
His name's Grapefruit.
That's what I thought. Grapefruit.
Yeet, got him.
Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Every time I come around your city, bling, bling.
Valentino Summers and Wave Runners. Chains on my niggas like slave runners. Drug dealers anonymous. Valentino Summers and Wave Runners. Chains on my niggas like slave runners. Drug dealers anonymous. How many Madonnas can that Mazda fit? My brick talk is more than obvious. It's ominous. Garage is the phantom. Ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. Blonde mohawk, the collection. I'm Dennis Rodman.
No better feeling would he ever get than being grapefruited. No better feeling would he ever get than
every time I come